John 6. After this, Jesus went away to the other side of the Sea of Galilee, which is the Sea of Tiberias. And a large crowd was following him because they saw the signs that he was doing on the sick. Jesus went up on the mountain, and there he sat down with his disciples. Now the Passover, the feast of the Jews, was at hand. Lifting up his eyes then, and seeing that a large crowd was coming toward him, Jesus said to Philip, "Where are we to buy bread so that these people may eat?" He said this to test him, for he himself knew what he would do. Philip answered him, 200 denarii would not buy enough bread for each of them to get a little. One of his disciples, Andrew, Simon Peter's brother, said to him, "There is a boy here who has 5 barley loaves and 2 fish. But what are they for so many?" Jesus said, "Have the people sit down." Now there wasn't much grass in the place, so the men sat down, about 5,000 in number. Jesus then took the loaves, and when he had given thanks, he distributed them to those who were seated. So also the fish, as much as they wanted. And when they had eaten their fill, he told his disciples, "Gather up the leftover fragments, that nothing may be lost." So they gathered them up, and filled 12 baskets with fragments from the 5 barley loaves, left by those who had eaten. When the people saw the sign that he had done, they said, "This is indeed the prophet who is to come into the world."
There are two different schools of thought about what happened that day when Jesus fed those 5,000 people. One school of thought says that Jesus literally took a few loaves of bread and multiplied them until there was enough to feed 5,000 people. Another school of thought says that people were so moved by that little boy's act of generosity that those who did have food with them that day started to share it with those who didn't have food with them. And by the time everything was said and done, they discovered that they had more than enough to feed everyone. So nobody went hungry that day. Either way you look at the story, it begins with a simple gesture of kindness. A little boy who went to Jesus and said, "Here, Lord, you can use the bread that I have." We should never underestimate what the Lord can do with the simple gifts that we give to him. Right now, there's a good example of that sitting in our sanctuary. A few weeks ago, the idea came about to collect 301 boxes of cereal as we celebrate our 300th anniversary, and to give those boxes of cereal to the North Reading Food Pantry, a way to welcome them to their new home next door. Well, the seed of that idea quickly sprouted, and now there are 457 boxes of cereal over in the sanctuary. And it wouldn't surprise me if in those boxes of cereal there are about 5,000 meals, 5,000 bowls of cereal that will be eaten in the weeks and the months to come. Yes, we should never underestimate what the Lord can do with our simple deeds of kindness. My friends, I invite you to cast off the cares of this day and enter now into that sacred silence where it's just you and the Lord and the beating of your heart. I invite you to say this prayer after me. Lord, as I thank you for the miracle of my life, I wonder what miracles you are waiting to bring into being through me. And so I ask you to let me feel the touch of your Spirit upon my heart, that I may let go and give you a little of my time, a little of my earthly treasures. Lord, let me be like that boy who stood before the mystery of your love and watched you transform his simple act of faithful giving into an amazing miracle. This I ask that I may feel the joy of you working through me today to touch the world with the mystery of your love. Amen.